Hello, my beautiful peaches. Welcome to my channel, Life with Zafira, and it's me, your host, Zafira. And today I thought it would be fun if y'all came and hang out with me while I did my nails. Um, this would probably be my second time trying out these nails, but I did get a different shape and size, so I wanted to see how it went. So, come along, let's see how this goes, right? Okay, I think I pretty much have everything that I need. What we're going to be using is the Beetles Nail Tips and Glue Set UV LED cured. The size that the nails that came in here are like the stiletto medium size, and that's a little too long for me. So, I went ahead and ordered the almond shape. So, let's see how that goes. I have an extra little UV lamp here to help cure for extra time because it does come with a little one in the box, but that's not enough. You do need to cure it some more time. So I got that. And then we got our nail polishes that we're going to be using and our other tools. So yeah, let me go ahead and pull y'all closer so we could get started. Okay. Finally got everything that was needed and moved y'all a little bit closer. I'll probably end up moving y'all a little bit closer once we get like into the nails part. So yeah, let me get everything out that's in here so we can get started. So what came in this box, I got this off of Amazon. Not sure what the price was. I'll link it down below if you are curious about what I have or what I got here. So inside this box, it comes with its own little UV lamp, a little small one. Your nail dehydrator, your nail prep, and then the gel. And then underneath, oh, and of course the nail file. And then the cable for the UV lamp. And then underneath you have your different sizes of nails. But that's the stiletto heels, and that's what we're not going to be using today. And it has steps in there for you, so that way you can know what needs to come first. I'm going to move this out of the way for now, because we won't need it yet. We'll need this one first. So you can use the nail file that comes with the Beetles kit, but this one was a little too hard for me. It was 100 over 180 grit, if you understand what that means. It's just really rough and it really hurt my nails. So I got something that was less. I think this is like 100 grit maybe, or less. Or no, this one's 100 grit. I believe this one's way less. I think this is just like definitely a lot softer. I don't remember how much grit it had on there. Okay. And I did grab an extension cable because I do need a lot of things plugged in close to me, so yeah. I know a lot of people have like elaborate setups for their nails and stuff like that. Not me. This is something pretty new to me, so yeah. So I'll move this out of the way. We won't use this nail file. And like I said, you do have the steps in your little books, and I do like to reference it because I can forget. So your first step is going to be trim, buff, and clean up your nails. So that means using a little nail scraper to get all the dead stuff off the nails, the extra buildup that goes on there. And you're going to want to push your cuticle back as well. Okay, I moved you on a little bit closer. Oh, yeah, see, I like that. It just activates as soon as you put your finger under there. I really like that. But that way y'all can see me prepping my nails, pushing back my cuticles, doing what I can. And if you are better at this than I am, definitely let me know any tips or tricks that you may have, because honestly, like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. I do try to be very careful because I know with the curing and stuff like that, things can go wrong. You can get contact dermatitis and stuff like that. You just got to be very careful when you cure. So before you cure, make sure you don't have anything extra on the outside of the nails. When you pushing back your cuticles and scraping the nails, don't push down too hard. You can actually really hurt yourself if you scrape too hard, and it can end up just feeling like your fingers were smashed. You want to give it enough pressure where you see it scraping and pushing back your cuticle, but you don't want to do it so much that you really hurt yourself. So just be careful. I've made that mistake before and my nails were hurting. And not that much force is needed. I mean, the nails are pretty dirty. But it's because before I did my just regular nail polish, I did put some press on nails. You know, the glue and stuff like that can sometimes get stuck on here. So that's what happened to some of them. And I did get most of it off when I was taking the nail polish off with the nail polish remover. But I'm just didn't want to come off. But thankfully with this nail scraper they do come off. I probably should get one of those electric ones. They work so much faster. But we'll see. We'll see. We won't be getting more stuff if this doesn't end up going well. But I definitely wanted to try out the shorter ones. The first time I did this, I think I did way too much of the gel nail glue. And so it kind of burned. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of burned. So if you have small nails, don't use that much. I would use a little bit less, but not too much less where it doesn't hold. But just be careful. And plus, it's just practice. It's practice. But before you do your nails, I do recommend going to a nail store and finding anything that'll help you take them off if that does happen. What I ended up doing was I soaked my nails in some acetone for a good while, and then I was able to take them off. It was still kind of painful taking them off, but not as bad as it would have been if I didn't have anything. So make sure you do have something if it doesn't go well. All right. Cuticles are pushed back. Now to rough up the nails. Same with this, you don't need to put too much pressure because you don't want to hurt your nails. Make sure you shape them. Just rough them up so that way when you put the glue on there, it holds pretty well. Making a mess. Okay, and then make sure you get all the dust off your nails. You can get a little brush them off, get a little cotton ball that you had to take off the previous nail polish, whatever you got, or just, wash your hands, but whatever you got to do, just get it off of there. So next step is choose your sizes. So it does come with several sizes. It goes from 0 to 11. So you want to make sure that you pick the right size. You want to make sure that it goes from edge to edge, that you have no gaps on the sides. Because if you do, that'll make them lift up and fall off faster. So let's pick out our sizes. I do have 2 fingers that are different than like these 2 fingers. I was a thumb sucker, yes. whatever, I don't care. So what happens is if your kid sucks their thumb for too long, it ends up like flattening out their thumb. And that's what happened to me. Now my middle finger, when I was younger, I got it smushed in a bike chain and it caused it to look like that. Why? I have no idea. No idea. And you also want to make sure that they are not too big. Like, yes, you want them to go from side to side, but you don't want them to also be overlapping on your skin neither. Because that means some of the gel will come out and might cause issues. Yeah. And what's cool is on the tip of the nails, it has the number that it belongs to. So if you somehow drop them or forget what size it is, you can just look at the tip and it'll have it there for you, which I really appreciate. Because there's been a lot of times where I've messed up and I wasn't sure what size I got, but thankfully it's right there. Okay, so 7 almost felt good, but it feels really like, tight. So let's try 6 maybe. Yeah, that feels better. Yeah, if the nails, when you're sizing them, if they feel too tight on your finger, don't put them on there. It'll hurt. Because the nail gel will start to like expand or heat up or whatever. And yeah, that can cause some issues. Yeah, like I said, on my left hand compared to my right hand, I do have to um pick different sizes for 2 of the fingers. And I have such a baby pinky nail that they actually have a size that is too small for me, which makes me feel great because, like I said, people make fun of my pinky for being way too small. So got the left hand done. Now to do the right hand. Okay. Put them over here. Hopefully I don't drop them. And there we go. Alright, picked out our sizes, thankfully. I have to move that closer, or let's see. It's always difficult trying to find the right spot to put this because you gotta put your finger under there and try to maneuver while holding it so that way it grips while not making sure there's no bubbles in there. That one has definitely been a hard one for me, so hopefully we can get it. Okay. Next step is apply a thin layer of nail prep and let it air dry for 15 seconds. So nail prep dehydrator. 15 seconds and a thin layer. And trust me, you'll know if you miss a spot because it does what it says. It dehydrates your nails. And they look so crackly. They look like a desert. It looks so weird, but it's to help your nails get ready. Get it all over the nail. But remember, keep it a thin layer. It doesn't smell too bad, thankfully. Like some stuff can smell really strong. Thankfully this stuff doesn't, and it doesn't bother my dogs. If it was a smell that would bother them, one of my dogs would have like a reverse sneeze attack. And we definitely wouldn't be doing this anymore. Alright, 15 seconds. So this can go back in its spot. we no longer need it. Alright, after that, it's going to be the nail primer, which we have here. Another thin layer, and it's going to air dry for 40 seconds. So we'll go ahead and start with this hand because I'm sure it's been at least 15 seconds. Thin layer. But make sure you get it all over the nail. I'm sure other people's videos are going to be a lot better than mine because they do close-ups and stuff like that and they let you see. But this is just an honest review. I will show y'all how it ends up looking for me, even if I have bubbles in there. Even if I mess up, I'm still going to show y'all what it looks like for me. And then I'll let y'all know in the comments below how long they lasted. That way, if I did do them right, maybe they'll last a while. Or if I didn't do them right, then y'all know. Right, that hand's done. Moving on to the next one. I saw this kit a lot on TikTok, and buying stuff from the TikTok shop kind of scares me sometimes. Just because, I don't know. I don't want nobody to hack my stuff, I guess. So I bought this from Amazon. I don't know if there's any difference. I know the prices might be a little bit different, but other than that, I'm not sure what other difference there might be. Okay. Once that's done, go ahead and get in the habit of cleaning around your nails, making sure there's no excess polish or whatever you want to call it. Clean around the edges, clean it on the top, all that. And let it air dry for 40 seconds. While we wait, let's go ahead and talk about the next step. So the next step is apply a thin layer of base gel on nails, cure for 60 to 90 seconds. Now, I don't have a base gel, but I did Google that it shows that if you have a nail builder, you can use that instead. What's good about the nail builder is you can also substitute it with, if you don't want to use a nail glue, you can use a nail builder because it works just the same. So you have that option. So apply a thin layer and cure for 60 to 90 seconds. I'm going to try to get as thin of a layer as I possibly can. And if it looks like you have too much, just scrape the brush on the lid and then go back and then just move the rest around that you already have. And that'll allow you to pick up the excess and scrape it off. So there's not a huge thick layer there. On to the next one. And if you want, instead of dipping it back in, turn the brush to the opposite side that you were using, and it'll have a little bit of excess still on there, and that'll be enough for your nails. Especially if your nail beds are small, you'll be able to twist the brush around and get the extra that's there for your next nail. I'm just trying to be as careful as I possibly can because I don't want to have too much cleanup. Okay, that hand is done. I love this little lamp because you can pick how much you want. So let's do for 60 seconds. Now, sometimes 60 seconds isn't enough. You can go 90 seconds, but for me, sometimes it could get a little hot in there the longer I'm in there. So I just go for 60 seconds. It will still be a little bit sticky, but that kind of helps with putting the nail with the glue on the nail itself. All right, that's done. Take off my mood ring. I don't like to put it in there. I don't think it'll mess it up, but I just prefer to take it off. Yes, I still wear mood rings. I love them. Finally found one that does not turn green or tarnish, so I was very excited about that. Now to do my left hand, my right hand, my non-dominant hand with my I feel like I can't talk now to try to do this with my non-dominant hand. This is definitely difficult for me, but slow and steady is best. There's some cleanup just at the top, which is perfectly fine. But just make sure you clean up as you go so you don't forget. That way you don't accidentally hurry up and put your hand in the lamp with gel still attached to you. Yeah. This stuff can be really sticky too. Not so sticky where you can't work with it, but it could be like, oh my gosh, stuff is sticky. So when you're cleaning up the excess, I recommend having like a little towel or something, so that way you're just not wiping it with your fingers like I am. Clean up time. Alright, go ahead and close that. We no longer need it as well. Go ahead and hit the 60 seconds. Put our hand in there and let it go. You will sometimes see me pull my hand out of there, and like I said, it kind of gets a little too hot for me. And the times that I've went to go get my nails professionally done, they've always told me that when that happens, just take it out for a couple of seconds or just move it around a little bit so it doesn't. It's not a super bad burn. It's just something that I feel like, hey, that's not right. I'm going to move my hand. The nail polish we're going to be using, I've never used this type, is Sally Hansen Miracle Gel Step 1. And what's cool is you don't need a UV lamp for this. What you need is the top coat for the Miracle Gel, and this will help cure it. So that is pretty interesting. All right, got the nail builder on. So this next part is a little scary for me, not gonna lie. The actual nail or an actual gel and putting on the nail. Let's hope this goes well. Wish me luck. If I can turn it that way. So what's cool is it already has it's already scratched up inside, so you really don't have to worry about that. If you do want to, just go ahead and get a little file and scrape in there to make it hold. I just do one line of glue here. Some people use 2 or 3, but since I have such little nail beds, I'm not going to be using that much. And I keep it towards the middle and not the top. All right. Think I put enough? Let's see. And you put it at a 45-degree angle and you push until you get it all over, but don't push it so much where it comes out on the sides. And then you put your nail under the UV lamp, holding for a few seconds, hoping there's no bubbles. And there was some bubbles. That's okay. So they may not last that long, but this is a test run. It's okay. They're going to be covered with nail polish anyway. And I believe this little UV light cures for 60 seconds. And it goes, it shuts off once it's ready. Alright, like I said, there's a little bit of bubbles on the side, but honestly, nothing too crazy. So let's move on to the next one. And sometimes you will mess up like I just did there. I couldn't get it to hold, which happens. So we'll just grab another one. You could try it with the same one, but what ends up happening is the glue will dry and it'll just end up not settling right, I guess. I personally hold it for at least 10 to 20 seconds. It does help get a good grip. It helps lessen the bubbles. So that's how long I hold it. And then once I'm done, I let it go and just let it cure on its own. Like I said, this builder gel is still pretty sticky, so I kind of keep getting caught on some things while I'm trying to do that. So it kind of messes up what I'm doing. So I would recommend the base gel that they tell you to get, or you can use a clear coat nail polish if you don't want to buy either one and you want to test these nails out to see how it goes. I googled it and it says you can use clear nail polish. It's not the best, but it is there as an option. All right, no bubbles on that one. That one was pretty good. There's that one. We're almost done with this hand, thankfully. I am excited to try this nail color though. It is a nude color. I've never worn nude before, but this top coat, what's cool about it is it's a sugar top coat. I don't know what that means, but it looks really pretty, so I'm excited to give it a try. I do like to have my nails done for content purposes, whether it be for regular social media or my spicy content. It just, I don't know, makes me feel prettier, sexier, whatever you want to say. And I'm not one that likes to go get their nails done, mainly because I don't like to sit there by myself, surrounded by strangers. I know most of the time the nail techs do talk to you, but sometimes they don't. Right, here we go. And so I'd just rather be in the comfort of my own home doing this. I know that probably seems boring for some people, but that's just how I've been. I prefer to be at home. Like sometimes my husband will offer to take me to go get my nails done, but I'm like, no, it's okay. But he loves when my nails are done too. Hopefully these will last up until I'm supposed to have surgery, or at least before then, so I don't have to worry about taking them off around that time. But hopefully they'll last about close to a month, at least 2 or 3 weeks. That's what I'm hoping for. If no issues arise. Like I said, the first time I did this, I did way too much gel glue and it burned. If you do too much, what happens is it expands after it's been heated and it can cause some issues for some people. So be very careful, very, very careful. And if you're not 100% sure if you are allergic to any of this, test it out first. Make sure you test it out first. You can go to like Sally's Beauty Store or Walmart and find gel stuff and test it out. There we go. Almost done with this hand. All right, the pinky is usually the hardest for me. I can't put too much and I can't put too little, but my pinky is a weird size that it's very difficult. There we go. That went a little bit smoother, but we'll see how the other hand goes because I don't know about that. Some people say you can put a lot and it's forgiving because you can clean up because it doesn't fully cure. It turns into like this hard jelly. And you're able to pick at it with something like this. I prefer not to do too much because I had bad experience, so I do this. All right, there's that hand. Now for the next one. Oh my god, it's gonna be so hard. We can do it. We can do it though. Got a little bit of an air bubble in there, but it's kind of like in the middle. I prefer not the air bubbles not to be on the side because there is a chance that water will get in on the side, and you don't want that. You don't want water to get under your nail. All right, moving on to the next one. If you don't want to put a line, I suggest doing like 3 little blobs together. That seems to be plenty enough for my nail, especially with it being so short. Yep. All right, we're making good time. So we are almost done with this hand as well. And moving on to the nail polish. Well, before that, we will buff and file the nails, make sure that, you know how sometimes with fake nails, they have these little, I don't know if it's from like being pulled off a stem or something, but they have these little sharp edges that need to be taken off first. So yeah. Now I will say this whole process does take forever. Um, Sometimes it takes me well over 2 hours, especially if I am using regular gel nail that needs to be cured in a UV light. That adds extra time. Alright, there we go. So far, so good. I just realized I grabbed the wrong one and did the ring finger instead of the middle finger, so that's why I was putting stuff back. I was having to get the right size. Thankfully, that is a good size for that one anyway. But, I gotta pay attention. If you made it to this point of the video, go ahead and give me a like, comment, go ahead and subscribe, share, and hit that little bell to be notified of any future videos that I post. I know that my channel is probably all over the place. I'm not gonna lie, I know that it is, but I just like sharing everything, or pretty much everything, or as much as I can. Oh, somebody's trying. Wanda, Wanda, you okay? But I just like doing different videos. I know finding a niche does definitely help people, but I don't know. I just like doing different things. It's so much fun. I have thought about doing like rant videos, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd be good at it. That's the one I'm so excited. And it's the pinky. We got it. No longer need this. Hopefully not. Unless one comes off, then we might need it. Okay, there is that. We are done with that one. Now we need to cure for a little bit more time. I do it for 60 seconds on each hand. Oh. There we go. It's just to make sure everything is properly cured. Before then, you want to make sure that you don't have any excess on you. Thankfully, I cleaned as I went, so I didn't forget. So you got to make sure you clean up any overflow, any excess that you might have on your skin. And it's best to go as you are doing it. Because like me, I would have forgotten. I would have put my hand in here. Alright, that one's done. Now for this one's turn. Then after that, we're gonna file and buff the nails before we put the polish on. We're almost there. Sorry this is taking so long. But I wanted you to see this process, on somebody that's not very perfect at doing this, that will have some bubbles under their nails just a bit, but it takes practice. And like most of the nails didn't have bubbles. When the first time I did this, a ton of them did. So, progress. And patience. Lots of patience. Alright. That is done. Pretty short. I like it. Right. Now to buff. You want to scratch up the nail pretty good. I know they're pretty and shiny, but it's best to do it. But don't do it too hard where it causes like indents and stuff like that. So be careful. And this will also help you to determine which ones didn't really get a good grip. Like you'll be able to see, oh, okay, this nail is loose. This one's going to give me trouble. Then I will keep an eye on it. And then once it falls off, I can fix it. Or if there is an easier way for you to fix it, at least you'll know which one is problematic. Right, nice and smooth. Right, nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. See how it's all scratched up compared to this? This is what you want it to look like. This is just to help the nail polish hold on better, or the gel nail. Alright, there we have it, all scratched up. Alright. Like I said, this is my first time using this one. So I don't know how it's gonna go. It says apply 2 coats of our active coats of color. Activate with top coat. No base coat needed. And it says it doesn't need a UV light. Thankfully, I have one in case we need it. Alright, let's see. That's a pretty color. Right. On to the next one. So far, so good. Just taking it easy. I am not good at this stuff. I was never one to really play with this stuff when I was younger. I was a tomboy. I always wanted to be outside, getting dirty, getting hurt. That's what I had preferred. Then, of course, when I became a teenager and started to notice boys, that's when I started to get into this stuff. There's the first coat on the first hand. Pretty nude color. Now to do the other hand. Oh god. Yeah, too much. Alright. Almost a disaster there. If you notice me shaking, that's just because usually when I have to do something that's very focusing like this, it makes me shake. Why? I don't know. Maybe from nerves, anxiety, or both. Who knows? Okay, there we go. And we'll see how these nails stand up because I do have to make my dog's lunch here later once I'm done with this video. And I have to open cans and stuff like that. Or do I? I don't know. We'll see. Right, there we go on that hand. So now for a second coat like they mentioned. I don't think it's needed, but I'm just gonna follow the rules. Make sure I got it everywhere and didn't miss any spots, which I tend to do. It almost feels like it's already dry, which is crazy. I thought it would still be a little bit moist, but apparently not. Or wet, sorry, if you don't like the word moist. Well, good thing I went back. There was some spots that I missed. Very little, not super noticeable, but I had to look close. Alrighty. Last one. Alright, and no more missing spots. So there, that is step one. Last, step two. And this one says apply 2 coats as well. Alright, let's see what this does. I don't know. I don't know. All I see is the little sugar crystal balls in here. It's like adding texture, but other than that, I don't know what it's gonna do, so we'll see. Or the little sugar balls. I think I said crystal. I don't know. Alright, first coat done. It gave it some, like, interesting texture. Second coat. Honestly thought it was gonna be like glitter or something, but I don't know yet. Alright, now for the next hand. Sorry, my battery died on my camera, so I had to go swap it out real fast. Guess I've been doing this for too long. Two more. And last one, thankfully. Jeez, this is taking forever. Hopefully it'll be worth it, because if that means that my nails will last at least 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I don't have to do this often. So I'm looking forward to that. All done. Alright, let them dry a little bit. But yeah, honestly, all that sugar coat did was it like left a little bit of a texture on my nails. I don't know if y'all can see that. I'm gonna ring back on. But here we go. That is my nails. Yeah, a little bit of texture. I'm not quite sure what that's supposed to do. I don't know. But yeah, I love them. Super cute so far. Let's see. Yeah, they're already dry. This one a little bit sticky still, but yeah, there we have it. We did our nails. I might end up adding some color, maybe like a clear coat to them here in a bit, but there's our process. Hopefully I didn't bore y'all too much. Hopefully y'all had some fun hanging out with me while I did my nails. If you are thinking about getting them, do it. It's so much fun to be able to do your own nails. You don't have to do the Beatles one if you don't want to. I know OPI has done a kit as well. I'm not sure what all they have included, but I know they have quite a bit of things going on. If not, you can visit the Beatles website and they have more options than you would find on Amazon or the TikTok shop. But thank y'all so much for being here, my peaches. I hope y'all have a great rest of y'all's day, and I will see y'all again. Mwah! Bye. Gotta go show off my brand new nails. Ooh, look at that. Alright, bye. Thanks for watching.